You've been looking for the missing piece to your health goals: fewer calories, more protein, better workouts. But there's a huge piece you're missing, and only 5% of people are getting enough. I am talking about fiber. And I know, fiber sounds like something your grandmother talks about.
I'd like to talk to you about your breakfast and your health and new Fiber One.
My kids literally tell me I talk about fiber too much. Fair. But stick with me, this isn't boring fiber talk. Because here's what's actually happening. The one nutrient that controls hunger, digestion, and energy, most people are getting literally half of what they need. In this video, I'm breaking down why you should care about fiber, the different types, and how to add fiber and feel good. So let's get into it. Okay, first, so what even is fiber and why does it matter so much? Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that our body can't fully digest, and this is actually a good thing. Some fibers form gels that slow blood sugar, others are fermented by your gut bacteria into compounds that support our metabolic health. Unlike sugar or starch, fiber passes through our system mostly intact and does some critical work along the way. Now, there are two types, and they do different things. There's soluble fiber. This dissolves in water and forms this gel-like substance in our digestive tract, which slows digestion, a good thing, and it stabilizes our blood sugar so that we don't get those spikes and crashes. And it keeps us full for hours instead of minutes. Plus, it feeds our beneficial gut bacteria, helping them produce short-chain fatty acids that regulate appetite hormones, reduce inflammation, and support our blood sugar responses. You'll find soluble fiber in things like oats, beans, apples, citrus fruits, raspberries. These are simple foods that pack a punch. Now, insoluble fiber, this is a type of fiber that doesn't dissolve in water. It adds bulk and it acts like this broom sweeping through our intestines. Sounds weird, sounds kind of gross, but trust me, it is a great thing. Insoluble fiber helps prevent constipation, keeps everything moving efficiently, and we get insoluble fiber from things like whole wheat, vegetables like broccoli and peas. We get it from nuts and seeds. Here's the key. We need both. Soluble fiber is our hunger control and blood sugar stabilizer, while insoluble fiber is our digestive system maintenance crew. Together, they influence more than just going to the bathroom. When we're deficient in fiber, in both of these types of fiber, which many people are, things break down. Our hunger signals can get confused. Our energy becomes unpredictable, and digestion definitely gets sluggish. So here's the reality. The average American gets about 17 grams of fiber a day. But the recommendation is that for women, we should get about 25 grams a day and men 38 grams. That means most people are getting less than half of what they need. Only about 5% of the population actually meets their fiber needs. And I'm going to tell my kids this is why I talk about fiber so much. Now, this could be for a few reasons, and one of the main ones is because our modern food system has stripped away the highest fiber parts of plants. Even some people who think they eat healthy are falling short. So here's why this matters. When you're fiber deficient, your hunger cues can feel harder to interpret. Meals can feel less satisfying, your energy swings more, and your digestion, frankly, can be unpredictable. And over time, your risk for chronic conditions goes up. So that was the negatives. Now let's go to the positives. When you consistently hit your fiber needs, here's what happens, and it is awesome. Lowering our LDL cholesterol. Soluble fiber binds to cholesterol in our gut and helps our body remove it. Steadier blood sugar. Fiber slows how quickly we absorb carbohydrates, smoothing out spikes and crashes. More satiety and fewer cravings. High fiber meals stay in our stomach longer and trigger fullness hormones. You feel satisfied for hours instead of minutes, making it easier to maintain a healthy weight without fighting hunger. And regular, comfortable bowel movements. Now I know, this makes people uncomfortable to talk about, but it is important. Insoluble fiber adds bulk to our stool and helps everything move smoothly through our digestive system. Plus a happier gut microbiome. Fermentable fibers feed our gut bacteria and they produce short-chain fatty acids that support our gut lining, help manage inflammation, and talk directly to our metabolism and connect to our brain. Also, healthier blood pressure and heart health. High fiber intakes are linked with lower blood pressure and lower risk of heart disease over time. Plus, long-term disease risk. People who eat more fiber tend to have a lower risk of colorectal cancer and type 2 diabetes. This is why fiber is foundational. It's not about one magic benefit, it's about quietly improving multiple systems at once. Now, if you've been doing everything right with calories and protein but still feel hungry, sluggish, or stuck, getting your fiber right is one of the most powerful levers you can pull. But before you start ramping up all your fiber, keep watching. Here's what typically happens. Someone realizes they're not getting enough fiber, so they decide to fix it immediately. They go from 17 grams to 35 or 40 grams in a day. And what happens? Bloating, painful gas, cramping, constipation. Ironically, the thing we were trying to fix. Why? Because your gut bacteria needs time to adapt. You're kind of overwhelming your system. So here's the right approach. Increase slowly. If you're at that 17 grams, bump it up to 20 to 22 the next week, then 25 to 27 the week after. This gives our gut bacteria time to multiply and adapt. The first goal is the baseline, around 25 grams for women, 38 grams for men. Once you're there and feeling good for 2 weeks, then decide if you want to go even higher. And here's one important note. If you have IBS, IBD, or very sensitive digestion, you may need a little more personalized strategy with a healthcare professional like a dietitian. Now, there's a smarter way to approach this. Instead of just focusing on the total number, think about when and what type of fiber you're eating throughout the day. As a dietitian, this is the framework I use with clients because it works. Instead of obsessing over hitting a number, that 25 grams for women or 38 grams for men, strategically distribute fiber throughout the day. And then here's a little tip. Pair it with protein. For breakfast, start with soluble fiber. Whole grain toast with avocado, oats with berries, Greek yogurt with granola. The protein keeps you stable and amplifies the satiety from fiber. And for your lunch, mix both types of protein, a salad with chickpeas added, a hummus wrap, nuts added with some fruit. Protein and fiber is your hunger helping combo. Now for snacks, don't feel like you have to ignore them. Don't skip this. An apple with almond butter, veggies with a cottage cheese dip, berries with yogurt, a handful of nuts. This is where most people crash without realizing it's a fiber gap. And for dinner, keep it balanced. Roasted veggies with grilled chicken, add in some lentils or whole grain pasta with a veggie-rich sauce. Protein paired with fiber, easy to digest before bed. Spacing these throughout the day, not trying to load it all into one meal, keeps your energy steady and your hunger signals consistent. But there's one rule that makes or breaks this entire strategy, and almost no one talks about it. Okay, here it is, and it's non-negotiable. As you increase fiber, hydration becomes more important. Soluble fiber needs water to form that beneficial gel. Insoluble fiber needs water to add bulk and move through our system smoothly. If you increase your fiber without increasing your water, you could definitely get constipated. You could definitely get bloating. You may feel worse and not better, and you might think that fiber just doesn't work for you, when really you need more water. Okay, think of fiber like a sponge. A dry sponge is hard and useless. A wet sponge is soft and functional. Your digestive system is sort of similar. So here's the practical approach. Take your body weight, divide that in half, and that amount in ounces is your baseline hydration needs. If you're eating 30 or more grams of fiber, you might need to drink even more water. Plus, factor in your exercise, and if you're outside in heat and sweating more, you'll need more. One of my favorite tips is starting your day off with hydration. Yes, I do mean before you have your coffee, drink a glass of water. If all you can handle is 4 ounces, do that. Then up it to 6, up it to 8. Water to start off with, and add a full glass of water with every high fiber meal. Plus, herbal teas and water-rich foods like cucumber, melons, and soups count too. Okay, here's the roadmap. It's straightforward. Add a little fiber each week to give your gut time to adapt. So weeks 1 to 2, add fruit to your breakfast. That could mean a pear on the side of your eggs and toast. Throw beans into your salad. Add in a little snack of almonds with berries or some popcorn. You are building this fiber habit. Okay, weeks 3 to 4, switch from white rice to quinoa or brown rice. Sprinkle ground flaxseed over your breakfast. Include 1 extra fiber-rich snack daily, raspberries, a pear, almonds. This is where most women can hit their baseline. And then weeks 5 to 6, use that strategic distribution. Soluble fiber at breakfast, mix it up at lunch, add more in at dinner. Men, you will hit that 38 grams. Women, you're optimizing around 30 grams plus. And that's it. No complicated macro tracking, just intentional additions each week. So here's some quick wins. A pear plus almonds, 9 grams of fiber. Raspberries, 8 grams per cup. broccoli or peas 5 to 9 grams per serving, air pop popcorn 3.5 grams per 3 cups. Now I have to talk about red flags. If you get painful bloating that's lasting 3 or more days, or constipation that's worse than before, dial it back and give your gut more time. Remember, prioritize real plant foods over supplements. Fiber-rich foods are packaged with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, compounds that supplements just cannot replicate. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but how do I eat more fiber without it being boring? That's exactly why I created my fiber-fueled recipe collection on my website. It has meal ideas for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, all designed to help you hit your fiber targets without boring salad fatigue. Links down in the description. Now, before we wrap up, I want to know something real. Was fiber completely off your radar, or did you feel it was just too boring to bother with? Drop me a comment and let me know. And tell me your favorite food that's actually packed with fiber, and I will send you back a recipe on how to use it, because I promise you, fiber can taste better than you think. Look, here's the reality. Fiber isn't a hack. It's definitely not glamorous, but it is foundational. It's one of the most powerful things you can do for your overall health because it makes everything else work better. Your energy, your hunger signals, digestion, heart health, even your sleep quality. When you feed your gut microbiome the right fibers, they pay you back with compounds that support your metabolism, your brain, and your long-term health. This is why I love to talk about fiber all the time, and maybe that's why my kids make fun of me for it. But that's okay. I'm all in. Most people are walking around operating at 50% capacity because they're missing this one piece. And the fix is just simpler than you think. Start slow. Be strategic about adding fiber into your day. Drink your water and give your gut that time to adapt. You don't need to overhaul everything all at once. In fact, please don't do that. You just need to be intentional about this one thing. Now, to get more fiber into delicious meals, check out my anti-inflammatory meal prep video right here. It is packed with nutrition, fiber, and flavor, and I will see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive.
Do you want the best tips from the best dietitian?
This is the fiber video.
Then eat more fiber.
Your gut microbiomes are starving.